climbing the ladder clearing drill. So this is going to help us rep out these clears in a way that just feels like stick work to the athletes. All right. So I'm going to line up these hearts are going to be where we want our cones. Okay. This is where we want our cones. So here is one line is going to be here. The second line is going to be here. And the third line is going to be here. So we're in a little bit of a row. And then we have cones for where they're going to cut to. All right, so here is a cone for the first line. That's going to be a banana cut. Here's a cone for the second line, and I'm actually going to move this second line a little closer to center and move this a little bit wider. It's not an exact line. And then we have our last cone is going to be up in the corner for that third line to cut to. Okay, so each line has a specific place to start at their cone and then a specific place to cut to. All right, and we have this as the goalie right now, right here, but this could easily just be the coach with the balls right here. All right, if your goalie has good stick skills, it's fine that they play this role, but this is a good spot for the coach to be as well. So we want to emphasize the terminology of break, all right, and that sort of initiates this stick work drill. So upon break, this player is going to cut to this cone. This player is going to cut to this cone. And lastly, this player will cut to this cone. All right. And once this first player is at that cone, we can then throw that first pass. So I'll just change the color for the ball being in the air. So this could be, again, the coach or the goalie throws it to that low cone, which is going to end up being our defender. Everyone's going to circle through all these drills, all these rolls. They're going to then catch it and pass it immediately upfield to that second line, and then they're going to pass it upfield to that third line. So that's our, we're climbing the ladder one player at a time along that sideline. All right. Depending how many players we have, we can run this on both sides of the field at the same time. So this obviously is going to take a little bit of, premeditated organization from setting these cones up, but it would really just be as simple as this. Here's that cone. Here's this cone. Here's this cone. And then we have our three cones for them to cut to. All right. So we can set this up on both sides if for simplicity's sake, if that is too much of a hassle, or you don't think you're going to be able to set that up easily, just run it on one side at a time. There's that line down the middle of the field, so you can just see distinctly that there's two separate drills happening here. But if we just focus on that one side, what we would have is a line here, group of kids here, group of kids here, and a group of kids here. All right. So after you balance out, you pass to this line, you would just follow your pass. So after you throw that pass, you're going to this line. You make this cut, you catch, you pass it upfield on the next break call. You go to this line, and then you catch up here. A couple different options. What we could do, we definitely want that person to run it over the midline. And after that clear is completed, it would be nice if we had them make at least one more pass to who would be an attackman. But that could literally just be a coach, so we could just have a coach standing, in the center of the field right there, just to give this person something to do after they catch this and run it over. They're just going to make one more pass to the coach, and then they would circle all the way back to the beginning line right there. All right, so we have three different roles. Climbing the ladder on one side of the field, really, really simulating what our clear is going to look like, and having the understanding that we want to keep the ball along the sideline for the most part. If we can get a good athlete to catch the ball and run it up the middle of the field, that's great. That's an easy clear too. But we don't want to rely on that. We don't want to rely on that. So that is going to be our clearing concept drill that we set up as it's just stick work. Yeah, we're working on our clear, but for the kids, hey, you start at this cone, you cut, you need to work on cutting, catching, and throwing. That's all clearing really is. And then when we get a deeper understanding of the spacing, maybe later on in the season, we can start to really, teach them those nuances. But for now, it's really just a stick work drill.